Hey! Welcome to another episode of Backlog Worthy, the series where I sit around and talk about a game I finally got myself to play. This time around, I played Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, a 2019 Definitive Edition Japanese role-playing game developed by Square Enix. I got this game from my dad for Christmas of 2020, and was probably the only game I touched until I finished it. I honestly love JRPGs to the point where it's probably one of my most played genres, along with Metroidvanias. I fell in love with Dragon Quest ever since I played Dragon Quest IX Sentinels of the Starry Skies on the DS. When I got Dragon Quest XI-S, I was ready to hopefully relive playing a series entry I did when I was 12. Well, let's stop treating this like a family recipe website and start talking about the game. Just a heads up, I'm going to be talking a lot about this game, so there are going to be spoilers up ahead. Let's start this by talking about the battle system. Dragon Quest XI uses a turn-based battle system, and you can play this one specifically in one of two ways. Option 1 is where you can move your characters in between attacks to do things such as try to create a more dynamic battle. This is something I didn't do, and I honestly didn't like. It felt like it wasted time, and with the option being the default, it really threw me off for a few minutes. Option 2 is what I chose, which is just your basic turn-based system. No moving, no hassle. Just let your character stand there and choose their attacks. And the attacks are based on a character's or monster's agility, which makes for a bit more strategy for planning your attacks out ahead of time. Even with how boring this battle system can seem, I do really enjoy it over an action-based battle system, like something along the lines of Tales of Berseria. With this battle system being a tried and true thing, I can see the reason for not having a sort of battle tutorial in place. Yet, if someone were to be a new player when it came to either turn-based battle systems, or just JRPGs in general, it would have been better if a tutorial was there for the ones who would have benefited from it. The story, once again, is the good old tried and true. You're the Luminary, hero born from light. Your goal is to defeat the evil that lurks in your world. Dragon Quest has been doing this pretty much what seems to be like day one on the NES. But Square Enix has always found a way to retell the tale so many ways. With myself only playing a handful of titles from the series, I can only say from what I have personally experienced. I feel like the story was good, reused, but good. The hero goes throughout the world attempting to seek out the 7 Dragon Balls in order to gain access to the godly tree Yggdrasil. Having traversed this tree, you meet what seems to be the final boss at the top, Mordegon. You, the one bestowed the title Luminary, lost this fight, and in turn, lost one of your allies. The solution? To go back in time to where you did not lose the fight, and become stronger. The only downside is that your friends lose all their memories of you when this happens. Willing to take that fall, you press onwards. Probably what I feel like is the most memorable moment in the game for me. I think this was a really good way to have the character make what seems to be the right choice, no matter how hard of a choice it was. The only downside to this part of the story is the quests you have to do. They're just fetch quests, and just tedious really. Other than that, the story is good. The characters bring a lot of color into the story in their own ways. Let's just take a second to talk about what each character is there for, and what I liked or didn't like about them. The hero, in a lot of JRPGs, is just another silent protagonist. There's not really much to say about him, besides the fact that he's the reincarnation of the Luminary. There isn't really anything to like or dislike about him. Erik is the first main character that you meet that joins your party. The hero and Erik become great friends in their time after escaping the dungeon. The blue-haired thief was destined to help you after hearing this prophecy from a heel slime. Erik has grown since he was just a kid, after seeing his little sister turn into pure gold in front of him. Throughout the story, the two characters begin to get closer, to the point where Erik cares so much about the main character. And I would be lying if I said Erik was not my favorite character in Dragon Quest XI. Veronica is one of the mages that join your party in the early game. She has a much feistier attitude than her sister. She gained the appearance of a young girl after an encounter with some of the monsters under the control of the Lord of Shadows and Hado. I really had nothing against this character, besides that she was pretty annoying here and there. Her sister Serena was a bit more tolerable though, but it really wasn't enough for me to like her. I only tolerated her because she had a less feistier attitude than her sister. But Serena did end up being in my main party for the majority of the game due to the fact that she was a great healer. The comic relief character was Sylvando, and he really played the part. He seemed like a character that was only there to alleviate a tense situation at first, but once you start getting later into the story, he started to get a bit more fleshed out and just became a better character overall. Next, there's Jade and Rab. The pair have been traveling the world for quite some time. Jade is the daughter of the King of Heliodor, who went missing so many years ago. Being a skilled martial artist is all I needed to hear in order to keep her on my team for as long as possible. Rab is a bit more of a mystery. When you meet him, he immediately knows who you are, while you have no idea who the hell he is. Soon it is found out that he is your grandfather, and from then on, joins your party. I really never used him as a main party member, only swapping him in to keep my team balanced while trying to revive another fallen member. The music, as much as I've praised Dragon Quest XI, honestly isn't something I would personally write home about. Sure, it made me remember the same feeling I had when I was 12 playing Dragon Quest IX, but that's the thing. Nothing too much has changed from the last few entries I played. Don't get me wrong, there is some banging music in my opinion, like this one. But take a listen to these two songs. Both are going to be the main battle theme from both Dragon Quest XI and VIII. To me, these sound pretty similar to each other. Don't get me wrong though, because I feel like they are both enjoyable in their own rights. I just wish it was something more memorable, like some of the battle music I've heard from other Dragon Quests. Being a JRPG, the graphics are what you can expect. With only really beating Dragon Quest IX before playing 11, the world I found myself in was like a breath of fresh air. I thought everything was beautiful, from the surrounding nature to all the monsters and characters you met throughout your journey. Just take a look at these slimes. They're slimes! And in 3D! After taking a look back at this game, I had an amazing time putting 75 hours into it like there was no tomorrow. Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age gets a 9 out of 10 for me. There are some things that this game could have worked on a bit more, like the music in the final arc of the game. Other than that, this game is great if you're a fan of traditional JRPGs. If you don't, just trust me, this game is worth at least a place in your backlog.